The Match Ball.
Hello, welcome to the show. Dan with you, along with Michael Normanson and Rob Conlon on the Match Ball for the Barnsley League Cup game. It's brought to you with Levi Solicitors, by the way. 10% discount on your legal fees at levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. Did you enjoy that?
It was all right, wasn't it?
Fine. We won, didn't we?
Fun enough.
It had it all. It went just fine. We had penalties scored for Leeds, penalty misses, we had a big fight. What more could we ask for?
This is what Premier League clubs do, isn't it? In the EFL Cup, what they're supposed to do anyway.
Make 9 changes and
just piss it anyway. Make it look like a training exercise.
I mean, we sort of pissed it. The bit where they nearly made it 2-2 was...
We never really got out of second gear, though.
No, I don't think we did.
It's a bit like the Cagliari friendly, where they nearly made it 3-3 within a matter of 3 minutes. We think, I wonder how that would have turned out if that had ever happened.
If anything, we're just winning too much here.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Just lose on. I mean, I couldn't see the scrap because it's about as far away from me as it can be in that bottom corner. Did you two see it? Tell me, were punches thrown?
I was the closest to it. There were no punches thrown. There was lots of there was jostling. There was a little bit of tugging and throwing around. A little bit like, Tuchel and Conte when they got into that little bit of a thing with the handshake. It was like that, but it involved a little bit of pulling to the floor.
I was pleased to see Meslier and was it Hjelde just absolutely pile in.
Yeah,
it was Liam Kitchen, wasn't it? The former Leeds player.
Sorry, my headphones have just gone off. I can't hear anything.
So I'm not saying no interesting. It's fine.
I can hear mine. It's absolutely fine.
There we go. I can hear you again now. I thought, I've either gone deaf or it turns out it's just the headphones.
But yeah, it was Liam Kitchen, the former Leeds player, who seemed to throw drama or try and throw drama into the advertising hoardings.
He threw the kitchen sink at him.
There we go. And it was. I was feeling a bit sorry for drama at the time because it was about a minute earlier he'd kind of got in Joffrey's way and Joffrey had really bollocked him, and it made you think back to last season when he kind of threw the toys out the pram a little bit, and I thought, I hope he's all right, and people don't just bully him. So then when he got thrown into the advertising hoardings, I was glad to see Hjelde and Meslier go protect him and stick up for him.
It's what kind of brought the crowd to life, wasn't it, that one? That little contretemps, if you want to call it that. It sort of G'd everyone up, because there was a proper second gear feeling about it. Because when they were singing, where's your famous atmosphere and stuff like that, you're thinking, well, it's you lot, you poxy Barnsley, isn't it? Because as much as they gave us a couple of problems and they scored and they could have made it, they were shit, weren't they?
I thought they started actually pretty well.
Well, they pegged us in a bit. We didn't know how to really get out of the back for the first sort of 10 minutes until we figured it out, didn't we?
I had the feeling, even in those early stages, I thought they'll do this for a bit and then we'll get a foothold in the game, we'll kind of get a measure of them and we'll start dominating, which we did. But then we let them back into it, which was a bit weird. But it was a good run out, wasn't it? And a load of changes. It's always gonna be a bit disjointed, I think, isn't it, when you make a load of changes? And
yeah.
It took a while. I felt like the pressing and stuff on Sunday, it was absolute like clockwork. Was the pressing? We knew exactly what was happening, and this was a bit more haphazard.
There was Jesse was trying to play it really cool at the start. I noticed he was sort of leaning back, sat down on the dugout. But then within a couple of minutes, I think we'd given the ball away or the press hadn't worked and they had a chance and he went absolutely mental and just booted a water ball. And there was a lot of him kind of huffing and throwing his arms up in the air when things weren't working. But this is what happens when you change 9 players. It does take a little bit of time. And Sinisterra's goal just seemed to break our heart. It was like, oh shit, they're really good.
Yeah. Oh, you can do stuff like that, can you? That's not fair.
It's too easy.
I just want to talk about Joffrey, actually, in terms of that. He was almost the embodiment of that slight rustiness. And you can tell he's not really played much this season already. Early doors passes were going astray. It didn't quite work for him, but he just had those little moments of quality as well.
It took him a while, though. I was actually a little bit disappointed by him. I don't know. I thought this might be a game where he stamps his authority on it a bit and maybe makes a bit more of a push for the first team, but there's not much of a case to put him in after that performance.
On the striker front, Maric has obviously done the post-match rather than Jesse, and he's saying Bamford is developing well but not yet certain when he'll be back. By an attacker.
Yes, it is worrying that that's the language being used. It's like, it's developing well. But I thought you said he might be back for the Chelsea game, is what you were saying, and now it sounds like he's not going to be back for a couple of weeks. That sounds like does developing well.
Weeks. It'll turn into weeks, not months soon. The old famous one.
But yeah, by a striker.
But let's talk about Sinisterra then, because I guess he was the focal point of the attention in many ways, wasn't he?
Just like on YouTube, wasn't he?
Was he?
That's what he was doing on YouTube all the time.
What, running at people and doing
getting
stuff?
the ball, twisty turny, beat a man, twat it in the top corner.
I mean, we'll get to the goal in a second, but there was that moment late on when he was attacking the Kop, when he just pushed it past the man and got to the byline, and you thought, yeah, I get it now. I get exactly what you're about. And he did it for the goal. He did it for the penalty as well. Nice goal, wasn't it?
It was a beautiful goal. Did the keeper get a touch on it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got a hand on it.
Even better.
His weak Barnsley hand could not stop that rocket, that Exocet missile of a shot.
From Leeds.
Working down the mines this morning.
Carpal tunnel syndrome. That's what he couldn't quite save it. But it was nice, wasn't it, just to see him, because he picked it up, and we'd kind of done that little thing. We're just popping passes off, interchanging passes, and he just picked it up and ran with it and put it in the net, which I quite like. That's the sort of thing I think you'd encourage as a high level coach as you are, Michael.
It is. Well, I mean, that's what we said about him when from the YouTube clips. We said he looks Rafinha-ish in that he'll just pick it up and occasionally smack it in the top corner.
It did feel like, why don't we just always do this? Because it was a bit of a shaky start, and you think, well, if we can do that, let's just keep doing that. He was really nice for the penalty as well, which he won very cleverly, just drawing the slide tackle in and just being too quick on his feet to just get out of the way and go down and win it quite nicely. And Click's penalty, his finish, was very reminiscent of the promotion season when he did that at Oakwell, so that was nice as well.
Yeah, I mentioned that to my dad actually. I remember him rolling one in. He did it even more casually, didn't he, in the promotion season, I seem to remember.
I think so, yeah. And then he rolled one. He missed one after that, didn't he? He rolled one past the post later in the season. But I thought Click was great today.
Yeah, he was.
He was probably our best player. Maybe Sinisterra, while he was on, was obviously excellent, won a pen, scored a great goal, so maybe him. But I thought Click was great. And I thought it was nice for him to get a good proper run out, and also nice to remind everyone that it's not a crime to have spare midfielders, because it means when you play a game like this, you can have someone good in there. You don't have to properly dip into the youth team and as Webby and O'Neill would do, play all the kids.
Yeah, well, it is nice that Forshaw and Click can be put into a situation like this, because you'd look back maybe 12 months and it would have been Forshaw and Click starting in the Premier League, and who else to come in behind them then?
It's shown how we've built this squad depth, is that we've gone out and bought players for the starting 11, which has really helped, because then it's, like you say, the people like Click and Forshaw and even Greenwood to a lesser extent, they should be played in these games. Like they are the backup players, and it shows that the quality's just lifted. Like you go back a few years, and it was it Christensen when we went to Newport, and he changed the entire team, and it turned out they were all wasters who were terrible. Whereas now we have good players, which helps.
Looks like we've got Wolves away in the next round, by the way.
Oh, that'd be a great watch. Good.
Bruno will be happy about that. Maybe Jesse will get a reply to his email finally.
Yeah, I suppose there'll be a bit of. He could mention that, print it out for him, maybe take it along. You didn't reply to this. He probably got lost or something.
Sign it on, like make him turn around and sign so he can sign it on his back. Jab the pen in like that.
But yeah, I think as well, I was looking back to when we played Crewe, actually, in that team was like Tyler Roberts, Helder Costa. Thinking back to the whole game in our first year in the Premier League, that was the first round of the cup then, and we had again it was like Ollie Casey and Bogus and Aveda and people like that.
Back,
people like that were playing in that game, and it was. I mean, we lost on pens, didn't we?
But we equalised in the last minute, I think.
Yeah, but we were shit.
Yeah.
Whereas tonight we did look a cut above them.
Yeah.
We're just hugely arrogant, but we did.
No, we did. Well, I did say, I think it was it the Phil Hayes show? I can't remember, one of the shows we did. Like, it'll just be an interesting benchmark to see how far we've come in the 2 years since we played them last. For the one that almost cemented promotion, which was just hideous. And they almost played us off the park, and we looked disjointed and lost when that happened. And then in 2 years, we're bringing on £25 million footballers left, right, and centre just for a laugh. Actually, it was nice. Did you like when Rocker came on? I think he really got to grips with the midfield when he came on. He just looked dead composed. Like, he likes to play in tight spaces. That's one thing I think we did well tonight. It was play in tight spaces.
His shot at the end as well. Oh, I thought it'd have gone in. That would have been really piss taking. That would have been beautiful.
He did a nice pass for, was it a corner or a cross? I can't remember. I think it was a corner or a free kick out wide. I don't think it was a free kick when Somerville had been fouled, but he did a nice pass that he slid out to the edge of the box to Rodrigo, and it was obviously something they'd worked on. If that had gone in, that would have been nice as well, but he just put it over the bar.
Don't really know what to say about this. It's kind of like, it felt like a training exercise is what I kept thinking of. It felt like it was just, as soon as we got to grips with them, like penning us in our box, and then when we went in front, it's a bit of a training exercise, is what it feels like.
Did Meslier save the penalty? Did it hit the post? I thought he got a finger on it, but I wasn't sure if it was after it had already hit the post.
Let's say it definitely saved it.
Okay.
That's fine. I think the best of it.
I chose to believe that because I thought, I think he's got a hand. So I was like, I'm just going to give him the credit for it. After the Villa penalty in a pre-season, I'm just going to pretend that he's the penalty king now.
I'm pretty sure it hit his finger then post, but it could have been post then back off and hit his finger.
Because it pinged away, didn't it, afterwards? So
it wasn't a terrible penalty.
That would have been
if he saved it, it was a really good save because it was quite far. It was close to the corner.
The laws of physics don't allow that, do they? Like for it to hit the post and then hit his finger, and then go out towards the corner flag.
But if your hand's like that and then it bounces off the post on the way back out and sort of brushes it, and then I don't know. I was confused by it.
Okay, let's just credit him with a save.
I think he saved it.
Yeah,
I think he saved it as the short version, and crucially, wasn't injured.
Yeah,
there was because when you saw 9 changes, you were like, okay, not risking anyone. There's only really Meslier who we can't cope without here if he gets injured, and then he was down injured for a while, wasn't he? And I don't know, it looked quite bad for a second because he didn't move or sit up for a bit, and you were kind of thinking.
Well, they do all the checks, don't they? Like to make sure your head hasn't caved in and all that, and you're not going to fall over. TJ's in the comments on YouTube, by the way, saying that Bryn Law reckons that Meslier got a hand to it. So I think we can take that as the definitive.
Let's go with that.
The definitive answer on the question. What do you make of it all overall?
I enjoyed watching Mateusz Klich just be good. I think my note on my phone for the goal, for his second goal, was just Klich goal, cool as fuck. And I think that is Mateusz Klich in a nutshell.
Really effortless, wasn't it? It just fell back to him. It's like, yeah, top corner, fuck off.
Yeah. No,
poxy game, don't want to play.
Let's go through the goals then, because they happen. That's what wins you the game. First of all, when did they happen? I'm going to have to consult my...
you'll have to check that. I've no idea.
Because we do come in here completely unprepared.
Well, and normally as well, we come back in and as we're walking back here or as we get in, there's a load of highlights flying around on Twitter and stuff so you can see the goals back again or something.
My dad's ringing me. He knows we do this.
Answer it.
Yeah. I will do. I'm doing a podcast. I'll call you later. I know we've got Wolves. Bye. Honestly. What's he ringing me for?
Dave.
Sinister.
Was he there tonight?
Yeah, he was.
Did he stay to the end? Or
yeah. He was very relaxed tonight.
I was going to say, don't get stressed for a League Cup match.
No,
that's fine.
No. Sinister, 21 minutes. Yeah. What happened before that?
They had a decent chance quite early on. Meslier made a save.
Yeah, I've just looked at the notes I've taken, and literally the first minute it says Barnsley header wide. Second minute, Meslier save. I think it was our back pass that put in their striker. And yeah, that was when Marsh booted the bottle quite angrily because it was drama and Greenwood sort of tackled each other. But then, yeah, we saw it was that kind of first 10 minutes, wasn't it? Where we just needed to find our groove a little bit. And I think Sinisterra's goal really helped that.
I've thought of a highlight because I made a note of it.
Okay.
I've just seen it on my phone. I enjoyed it when on 24 minutes they played a replay of the goal briefly with the sound on at full blast.
Yes.
It was like the Norwich...
Oh, the blast of white noise.
It was the Norwich Sonic... Well, I think it was crowd noise from the goal being scored, but they just played it with the... Someone had obviously not put the fader down, and it just went... Oh, and then it was only on for a second.
Yeah, you can tell I enjoyed that because that's the only note I've got with an exclamation mark at the end.
Other than that, Gelhardt, bad touch. I've made a couple of notes of that.
Babs McGinty suggesting that was my dealer rather than my dad. In the
Same
comments.
person.
And Arthur GK as well saying, Dad, I'm doing a podcast. God, teenagers.
It's like that Chelsea clip made where his brother comes in the room. Just go downstairs.
Dad, I'm doing a podcast. Get out. And then, Mateusz Klich, 32 minutes penalty. I think it was engineered by Sinisterra because the way he just went round the outside was nice, and that lumbering Barnsley idiot, whoever it was, couldn't get near him.
And then lumbering Adam Forshaw, giving away. He gave away the foul that they scored from on the free kick, and then he also gave away the penalty, didn't he?
Yeah, that was poxy, wasn't it? That was weak.
I didn't have a good view of that at all.
I had an all right view of it. It looked like it was one. There was definitely contact, but I think it looked like one of those that attackers do now, where they split the legs to make sure there's contact.
Right.
So it looked a little bit poxy, but
the Grealish.
The Grealish Kane leg split thing that they do when they're running to the box and then for no reason at all, rather than legs putting. Again, we're on the coaching stuff here, but when you want to run fast, I always advise people to keep their legs sort of parallel. And then
is that better than
it's just for energy transfer? It's easier if your legs are parallel and straight.
Energy transfer.
That's the transferring the energy for your legs to fastness. But he did a bit of a skip. But then he missed anyway because they're useless.
Was that the free kick or the penalty?
The penalty.
Talking about, right. Okay, yeah.
What really happened from the free kick they scored from?
Just crossed it in,
They
didn't
crossed it in and then headed it into the goal, Rob.
Should a Leeds player have been marking them? I don't really know what happened.
Yeah.
He just got away and got head on it, didn't he?
Fair.
I'd have said someone should have probably been marking him. Oh, he was big though.
Right.
Yeah.
He was a big lad. So it is more difficult.
I don't want to body shame anyone. Not that I'm necessarily in a position to, but did you see there was the lad who was centre forward? He had a proper League One body.
He did, yeah. Big barrel chest on him.
I thought that the nutrition plans at Barnsley, I mean, they don't have nutrition in Barnsley, do they?
Yeah, well, it's a good League One shape. That's what I would say.
So Matthias Klick, 32 minutes, and then that was penalty.
Amazingly, there is SofaScore actually do have stats and stuff for this game. So the momentum graph we've looked at before, where you see attacking pressure and stuff. It's basically nothing happened for ages. Then we had some.
Right. And then we were half time. Did you enjoy half time?
They could have done something on the pitch, I thought.
They used to have police dogs, didn't they? Like police dog display, parachutists had come in. All that's gone now. Why don't they do that anymore?
Exactly, just water in a pitch.
It's certainly improved this. This is an energy drink, isn't it? It's Carabao.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then second half, we went 3-1 up. That was 56 minutes apparently. That was Matthias Klick as well.
We made changes as well at half time. We gave Hjelde moved to centre back.
Yeah.
And we brought Strauch on at left back and Koch and Llorente swapped around.
Yeah.
Because Hjelde drama on at right back was getting really, really high up the pitch in the first half and the second half. And Hjelde was staying really deep, it seemed. He never really got that far forward. And there was a moment in the first half where Marsh and Adam Forshaw were both shouting at him, telling him different things to do, which I thought was a bit unfair on the guy making his first start of the season. But yeah, I think Forshaw was telling him to come closer to him and Marsh was telling him to bugger off, basically. And he just looked very confused, which I don't know what that says about our depth at left back. But again, as long as Strauch's there, we're all right. Just
an update on Barnsley nutrition. Ryan is in the comments suggesting they have a Taco Bell in Barnsley.
Do they?
Yeah.
Isn't that from? Is that from the past or from the future? I know they did try. I know they did try and launch at one point in Britain. Did no one tell them that to shut down there?
So it's always just been
it's next to a Wimpy.
I've lost my train of thought now because I'm starting to think about convenience food. Where were we?
Wimpy knives and forks.
No, we're talking about fullbacks. I wondered if maybe because they were doing the old big crossfield ball as well, and there's a big lad on that side, and maybe Strauch was a sort of better equipped to deal with him, and he was better at pushing forward, wasn't he? He got forward in that second half. I didn't realise he'd come on at left back initially. I thought him and Koch had come on at centre half together, so I was slightly confused when I saw him right by the northwest corner.
It's just what he does now, no matter where he plays.
Phil talks about Strauch always does the good left back things, like really tries at doing that position, and I did think that at one point he really bombed forward. Then he got there and he thought, oh fuck, I don't do it. I don't do it here. I don't really do crosses. But yeah, he does well there.
What do you make of Drama then?
The big pirate. Fine. Not great. Just fine.
I thought it was
all right. Keep him.
Right. Yeah, I thought he grew into it. I think he started off a bit slow and a bit sloppy and shaky, but I thought he got better as the game wore on. He just needs to play, doesn't he? Like he just needs to some more games in a Leeds shirt. It was like when Greenwood first came into the team, I was a bit like, I don't really get him. I don't know what he's for. But then after a few games where you just need to settle down, don't you? I guess he started to look like a decent player. I think Drama needs a bit more of that in a Leeds shirt, because he played in the League Cup last year at Arsenal, didn't he? And looked a bit shaky. And then was it Arsenal in the league and he looked a bit shaky. But he just needs to play games.
Yeah, I think so. It's unfair to judge any of them on one performance where they're thrown in with. They're not strangers, obviously, but in terms of putting together an actual first team game together, they are, aren't they? This team has never been seen before, has it, on a pitch together? So it's fair enough that it doesn't quite flow. But I thought he was all right. I don't know, had his moments where he looked fairly promising. Also looked absolutely knackered at the end.
Taco Bell, McDonald's, KFC, and Dunkin' Donuts all at Birdwell in Barnsley, says Tipsy Adonis.
There you go.
It is a South American revolution taking over South Yorkshire. Back to the football. What do you make of Somerville?
I thought it was good. Just saying, yeah. You've been reading about South Yorkshire food outlets while I've been talking about him.
Was it Somerville? I thought you were on about Drama.
No, Somerville still.
Fine.
Somerville moved on. But I thought it was good. Yeah,
He did have some of those moments that he has in the 21s where he just he's quite strong as well, even though he's only small. But he beat a few players quite nicely. You were desperate for him to get a goal.
He had that one where he was on the right side and he had a shot across goal, didn't he? It didn't
nice.
miss by very much. So that was a bit of a shame that didn't go in.
He's still very brave for taking that number 10 shirt, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a number 10's performance, did it? It felt like a number 20's performance.
He was all right. He was quite good. I would like to see more of him. He's unlucky, really, that we're all full of wingers, aren't we? With potentially Dan, if he's even getting on the bench, he's trying to get a spot on instead of Sinisterra and Dan James at the moment, which is kind of tough.
He sort of had the Wolves game, didn't he, to get a bit of game time because James was suspended and Sinisterra injured. And you look at it now and you think, well, you've had your... Well, we've gone through, so he can play again against Wolves.
It's true. And Wolves seems winnable, so let's win a cup.
There were suggestions of, I think Phil might have tweeted out about Man City and Chelsea in the next round of the Carabao Cup.
So you think that gets rid of some of our competition?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it makes the inevitable route to Europe.
I was going to say,
that much easier, doesn't it?
What European competition do you qualify for when we win this cup?
Well, we've got Champions League, haven't we? So
because we're just winning the league, so it would be all right.
It used to be the UEFA Cup, which was now the Europa League. This is how long it's been since we've had any interest in the cups. So I assume it's Europa League, which is another route into the Champions League.
How do you think we defended tonight? Because Jake's in the comments just suggesting that it would have been nice to get a clean sheet, but overall good showing from the boys.
I thought it was all right. They didn't cut us open particularly, did they, at any point? I never felt like they were able to apply any consistent pressure or create many chances, but then, they did score one and have a penalty, so something went right.
Yeah.
It felt a bit more like any half chances they had were kind of us giving them a little bit, a little bit of confusion or sloppiness, but I don't think we were bad defensively, were we? We were all right.
Lots of people in the comments suggesting that Calvin Phillips, remember him? Has come off injured for Man City tonight in that friendly against Barcelona. Rafinha's Barcelona.
He's playing Barcelona.
There's some sort of weird, I think it's some sort of
awareness. Are they in the League Cup?
It's awareness for...
Is this them trying to earn more money by competing in the English League Cup?
No, I think it's genuinely it's like a charity fundraiser for something. I can't remember what it is, so I don't want to get it wrong. But I think it seems like a noble cause. But either way, he's been injured.
It's for charity.
Yeah,
that's.
But it was nice to see such a strong bench. Actually, wasn't it? I'm trying to think of some things to talk about here because it just feels like a second gear game, as I was saying before. To look at that bench, it was very, very strong, wasn't it? To think, we can just put on some dead good players if this starts to just get a little bit loose or fractures.
Yeah, it did feel like we just brought the good players on to see the game through, like Rocker and people like that. We'll control it and see it out. I've just seen Sinisterra's goal, actually. Someone that has just appeared on Twitter.
Talk us through it.
Can confirm it's good. It's good. Yeah, picks it up back to goal. They sort of back off him, give him a yard, but then he just knocks it to the side of someone, twats it into the top corner. Very
good, yeah. It was interesting to see Marsh having a little chat with Somerville as they were doing the applause at the end on the pitch. Seems to be giving him quite detailed instructions about his positioning and what he should be doing in terms of knocking it off and stuff.
For most of the first half, all I could see Marsh doing was getting really frustrated that we weren't taking throw-ins quicker or people weren't making runs, and that seemed to be directed at Somerville a lot. But
he did at one point. He really threw the ball hard at someone for a throw-in.
Yes,
it landed at everybody like proper. Chucked it into the stomach. It was
I don't know if that's a thing of American coaches because it's the USA national team coach. He's really into his getting the ball back quickly, and he sort of does fancy bounce passes and round the back stuff. So yeah, it must be sort of in vogue over there.
Yeah, my PE teacher used to do it. If people weren't listening, he used to chuck a ball at your head. So you just occasionally get a basketball on your nose.
Can't really do that anymore, can you?
Probably not.
Chucking stuff at kids. Do you like to chuck stuff at kids?
No, not normally, no. Not normally.
Mm-hmm. So overall, then, how do you summarise this night? Because, like I say, it's not got the same... this is like going to the pub on a Sunday afternoon after you've had like a wild Friday or Saturday night, something like that, following Chelsea. We've come back, we're all happy, we're all in a really good mood because Chelsea was wild, and then we've had to go out again.
I think we should just be happy.
Just calm pints in the pub.
It's a cup win.
Yep.
It's a Yorkshire derby win, which we don't normally do. It was full. It was easy. No one got injured, as far as I'm aware.
It's all right, innit?
It's all good.
Keep drinking. That's the lesson.
Barnsley were quite obsessed with singing about like Savile and things like that. That's one thing that you noted to me, Rob, as we arrived.
They're just obsessed with Leeds, aren't they? It was all their songs were about Leeds. Even when they scored, they celebrated by singing "We All Hate Leeds, Scum." And you just think, oh, bless them.
I think about Barnsley, it's just
and like you say, it's just after Chelsea. It's like, come on, we've got bigger fish to fry here, lads.
Yeah, we've become pompous Premier League arseholes, haven't we?
In fairness, even when we were in the same division as Barnsley and they were spanking us 5-2 and 4-1, I still thought we were above them.
Yeah, yeah.
Really, realistically.
I mean, they had a nice day out. Majority of their end was sold out, wasn't it? 35,500. You can't knock that for a midweek game in the Carabao.
No, I wonder how many we could have actually sold for this. I genuinely think we could have, because it sold out really quickly. Could possibly have sold like 50,000 tickets for this, which
Imagine
is
that.
just ridiculous.
That's one thing I've just remembered. On the way to the studio, I saw Junior Firpo drive past in his car with his number plate of Firpo, which was nice. I presume that was him anyway.
Give it half an hour, Junior. Go for the traffic to clear.
Well, I wonder what time he left it.
Saw us through quite safely.
It was ages till we had a corner. Did note that.
When was the first corner?
74 minutes, I think. Because we had one, I went, I think it's our first corner.
No, I'm sure Sam Greenwood took one in the first half.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
All right, well, that's not a very good start then, is it?
Accurate as ever.
I got that wrong.
It's the first one I saw anyway, which is what counts.
That's all that counts. Yeah, I mean, Christopher and Randall in the comments just saying solid night. Nothing really to add. We won. People got minutes and it was okay.
Yeah. Good run out.
I think we're so addicted to high drama at Leeds that we don't really know what to do when it's not like fraught or mental.
This is what normal Premier League clubs do. I'm not sure how to act about it.
I think it's just we weren't brilliant, but we won.
Yeah.
And it's hard to know what to... But we won and it was sort of...
It wasn't like a monumental
But it's
struggle.
also sort of meaningless. Because even the games at the end of last season that were on paper fairly unspectacular wins were actually enormous, hugely important wins. Whereas this is just like, okay.
Yeah. It didn't rain.
Fine.
It didn't rain. That was pointed out as well.
Really lovely warm evening.
A beautiful sunset. I got a photo. Do you want to see my photo of it? Look at that.
It's just turning into like...
Look at this sunset that happened. I got it facing over towards the cop. See that?
send it into calendar and look north.
Yeah.
They might put it on the weather forecast.
Look at that. I'll show you.
That's lovely, isn't it? That's lovely. It's
Yeah,
out of focus. It's out of focus for the people watching,
Put it by my head.
and for the people listening. What on earth are they? What on earth are they getting from this?
I'm holding up my phone.
This is very Sunday afternoon in a pub. Just 3 men wittering.
Let's just draw a line under it right now. We've got the Phil Hay show to do. Tomorrow afternoon after the Jess conference, which is at 1:30 UK time. So we'll be in to chat more. We'll set Phil loose. Yeah, Phil, talk us through that. Off he goes.
Phil, when was the first corner? Just straight in with that.
Excellent. Well, let's wrap it up there. Then thank you for joining us on the stream as well. Sorry it wasn't more eventful, because the Chelsea one was wild, wasn't it? Great fun.
Whereas this was just fine.
Good. A good evening at the office. All things considered.
Cheap tickets.
Yeah.
Good.
Lots of maybe kids enjoying it for the first time. Excellent. Well done, everyone. Well done, everyone.
Well done, Leeds, for not losing.
Yeah. And we'll be back for Phil Hayes show. All the usual stuff at the weekend post Brighton. We'll speak to you then.
The Match Ball.